Hey everyone, welcome back to Dede's Mediterranean Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a special kind of baklava or baklava. It is with walnuts and chocolate. Really easy to make. Get this recipe at DedeMed.com, join my Facebook and my Twitter, see what I'm cooking up every day. Let's go over the ingredients. So, we have some chopped up walnuts, we have some semi-sweet chocolate chips, I have a little bit of cinnamon, sugar, phyllo dough that you can buy in the freezer section at your grocery store. I have some pre-made simple syrup and some melted butter. So I just want to mix up some of the walnuts with the sugar and the cinnamon. I don't want too much. I'm going to make just a little bit of a batch of this. You know, it's really simple to put together, so anytime you're in the mood for a dessert, just throw this together really quickly. Some sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. Just want to mix it together, just like that. Really simple to make. Okay, so once this is mixed up, we're going to roll out our phyllo dough. Put these two on the side. Now phyllo dough, you want to work with it pretty quickly. You don't want it hanging out too long. I'm just going to remove a couple of layers that I'm going to use. Just like that. I'm going to put the rest away. Let's open this up. And I kind of want to cut it to the shape of my pan because I'm just going to layer the layers down. So I'm just going to look at this right there. I'm just going to cut it down the middle like that. Cut a little bit off the top like that. That was a little crooked. We'll cut it again. There we go. Alrighty. We'll move this to the side. Move this over. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer them into the pan. So I want to start with 2 layers on the bottom. Just put them like that. It's okay if the corners come up a little bit. Not a big problem. Just fold them down. So you have it in the pan like that. You want to get your butter. Now some people like to just put the layers in here and then they like to just pour the butter over the layers. I like to actually butter the layers. That way you're ensuring that each one is nice and crispy. I'm going to put my next layer in. Just going to put one. Just like that. More butter. Not exactly a low-fat dessert, but it does taste really good, and it's okay to have a dessert every now and then. Put my next layer in, and then I'm going to start layering the chocolate and the walnuts. So, like that. Just put a little bit more butter in here. A little bit of a tedious process, layer after layer after layer. I'm going to get my walnuts. I just want to sprinkle them on. Sprinkle them nice and evenly throughout your pan. Now you can do 2 layers of this. You can do 1 layer of it. Whatever you like. I just want to make sure that all the little edges get some of the walnut. So you have a nice even spread. Just like that. You get some of my chocolate chips. These are going to nicely melt around the walnuts. Now there's a lot of things you can do with baklava or with phyllo dough and desserts. I mean, some people put cream cheese in here. You can use all kinds of walnuts. I'm going to get my next 2 layers. Put them on here. Nope, it tore, but it's okay. Not a problem. Again, phyllo dough is very pliable. So see, put it just like that. I want to get the butter on here. Then I'll put another layer on top of that. So I put 4 layers of phyllo dough. I'm going to sprinkle some more walnut in between. That way you get a nice big thick piece of the baklava. Just like that. Now remember, if you want this written recipe, go to my website. There's a lot of different baklava recipes that people talk about, people like to share. People like to share different things that they do with it. So if you have something interesting that you've done to make baklava, share it. Just like that. I'm going to continue to layer these right on top. You want to preheat your oven. Make sure it's preheated to 450 degrees. We're going to bake this for about 15 minutes. Like that. I actually want to cut this up before I put it in the oven. This phyllo dough is a little bit, it becomes crispy, so it's a little bit hard to cut if you want to do it afterwards. So I like to do it before I bake the phyllo sheets. So I've finished with my layers. Now you can cut this into diamonds, or you can cut it into squares or triangles, whatever you like. I'm just going to cut it into nice squares. Be very careful when you're cutting it. You don't want to hurt yourself, and you don't want to tear the baklava sheets or the phyllo sheets. So I'm just going to cut it like that. And when you're done cooking this, you can run another knife through the baklava just to make sure that it's cut properly. And when you're running the second one through, be very careful. See, look at that. So I'm just going to continue to cut them into little squares. I'm going to place it in the oven for 15 minutes, and then I'll see you then. Alrighty then, I took our baklava out of the oven. I poured a couple of ladles of the simple syrup on top of it. After I pulled it out, I let it sit for 10 minutes. Now, you want to let this sit for probably 30 minutes to an hour just so that it absorbs all of the simple syrup, but I just want to show you this. I went through and I just cut all the way through with my spatula just to make sure it was cut. I just want to remove a couple of them so I can show you how nice these layers look. Let's try and get this out. You are really supposed to wait, but I just want to show you how nice this looks. There's still a little bit of simple syrup in here, but the chocolate and the walnuts just look amazing. See how big it is? Let me close up just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little more. There we go, right there. Look how pretty that is. You can see all the layers of the walnuts and the chocolate. They look amazing. I can't wait till this cools down so that we can go back and enjoy this with a nice cup of coffee. If you want this recipe, go to my website at DedeMed.com, and I'll see you again.